Good afternoon. I'm Carol Scott, President of the Association of Junior Leagues International and an active member of the Junior League of Pasadena. Welcome. Welcome to the 96th Annual Conference. Let's start by thanking the members of the University of Memphis Band led by William Plank, who is the Director of Bands and Director of Athletic Bands. The University of Memphis Band, known as the Mighty Sound of the South, has represented the university since 1940. Its band members represent virtually every academic major in the university, making it one of the most diverse organizations on campus. Your musicianship and energy got us off to a perfect start today. Again, many thanks to you. We knew we would get a warm and mighty welcome here in Memphis. Erica Coopwood, President-elect of the Junior League of Memphis, is going to introduce a very important guest who also brings a special welcome for us this afternoon.
Thank you, Carol. Good afternoon. I'm Erica Coopwood, President-elect of the Junior League of Memphis. Welcome to Memphis, ladies. I am so proud and honored to introduce to you the Mayor of Memphis, Jim Strickland. Mayor Jim Strickland has served as the mayor of Memphis since 2016, and he is committed to building up the city of Memphis and its citizens. Branding Memphis as an opportunity city, Mayor Strickland very recently, yesterday, launched the HireMemphis.org initiative, which is a new online job board connecting young Memphians ages 16 to 24 with local businesses looking for workers and interns. He shares the Junior League's commitment to community service. Mayor Strickland, on a regular basis, volunteers at St. Vincent de Paul Soup Kitchen, and he is a Gold Lifetime member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It is my pleasure to welcome the Honorable Jim Strickland, Mayor of the City of Memphis.
Wow. I don't know if I've seen this room so full and so full of energy. But welcome to Memphis. And thank you, Erica, for that introduction. Now, I know every mayor of every city you talk to talks about how great their city is. But I'm actually telling the truth. Memphis is a city that has changed the world and continues to do so. We are home of the blues, just 2 blocks from here. Rock and roll was birthed here. I know there's probably some people from Cleveland, Ohio. And y'all have the museum, but we have the title. We perfected express package delivery to the point that the name of the company is a verb. I know every one of y'all have FedExed something to someone. You've got to be really good if your name becomes synonymous with the service. And every single day, we treat and cure childhood cancer at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Now, at this time of year in our history in particular, we must note how Memphis has changed the world in the struggle for civil rights. The example that our sanitation workers set in 1968 the reason Dr. King was here in the first place. And their iconic signs, "I am a man." They improved Memphis, they changed civil rights, and we've honored them in the last year. But Memphis isn't just about the past, it's about the future. Memphis has momentum. $13 billion, that's with a B, not an M, billion dollars of recently completed, ongoing, or about to begin construction. ServiceMaster, a Fortune 1000 company, just opened up their world headquarters adjacent to this hotel in a former and renovated mall. St. Jude's just announced a $1.5 billion expansion with 1,800 new jobs. FedEx is committed to a $1 billion redo of their super hub here in Memphis. And our momentum has even gone onto the sports world. We have a new professional soccer team, and our golf tournament, our PGA tournament is now, next year, will be one of the top 10 tournaments in the world. Memphis has a lot of great groups, none greater than the Junior League of Memphis. And they're one of the reasons we have momentum, because they focused on 3 distressed neighborhoods in our city, and they are transforming it and transforming for the better, and I'm honored to be associated with them. So I hope you know that you're in a special place, a special city, at a special time in our history, and we are very glad you're here. So glad that I'm not going to read this entire proclamation, but I do want to say that, I want to read part of it, that I, Jim Strickland, Mayor of the City of Memphis, do hereby proclaim Thursday, April 19, 2018, the Association of Junior Leagues International Day throughout our city of Memphis. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Oh, I think she wants to. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Strickland. It is a true honor to have you with us, and we appreciate your kind words and warm welcome. We are looking forward to learning more about your city firsthand over the next few days. Thank you, Mayor Strickland. There are many aspects to the history of Memphis. It's quite possibly, I had to say that, the birthplace of rock and roll, and certainly a force in the music scene throughout the decades. This year, 2018, marks a sobering moment in the history of Memphis, the United States, and really the world. This is the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King, which happened right here in Memphis. I know that I will be remembering that fact as we discuss our own progress on diversity and inclusion, as we participate in workshops and attend many plenaries, including one led by the president of the National Civil Rights Museum here in Memphis. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Ingrid Jacobson, a member of the AJLI Board of Directors, who will deliver the conference invocation.
Good afternoon. Let us take a moment to prepare ourselves, our hearts and minds, to bring our best selves together here in Memphis. Our time here is short, and there's no time to waste. Individually and collectively, we face many challenges, but at least as many opportunities. While we're here, we have a lot to discuss, to decide, and to commit ourselves to. And the effects of what we do here together can have far-reaching consequences. Therefore, may we undertake the business we conduct here as leaders and owners of the Association of Junior Leagues International, with courage, humility, and a sense of the potential and power of association. May we articulate our dreams and concerns, not only for ourselves and our leagues, but for our association and the communities we serve. May we remember and appreciate the thousands and thousands of Junior League women who have come before us and the many more who will follow. We are each and all part of the legacy and potential of the Association of Junior Leagues International. May we appreciate and give thanks for the learning and growth opportunities we have here, and commit to bringing the passions we discover and insights we gain back to our sisters in our local leagues. May we engage actively and respectfully in dialogue, articulating our dreams and concerns with authenticity and grace. May we listen to one another exquisitely, asking questions in order to understand, and responding with respect both for our similarities and for our differences. May we practice exceptional courage, openness, and inclusion, radical inclusion in everything we do. And I mean both here in Memphis and back home in our local contexts, not only with our lips, but with our lives. May we be open to the wisdom and experience of one another, as well as to new ideas and new ways of working toward that which we dream of. May our time here together set us up to achieve transformation, not only in ourselves, but in our local leagues and communities. May we understand and embrace the Junior League mission with courage and daring. In the words of Goethe, whatever you can do or dream, begin it, for boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Ladies, women, and sisters, may we be bold, may we use our power well, and may we be unstoppable.
Thank you, Ingrid. This afternoon, we will hear from Chelsea Miller, who will sing the anthems of our 4 Junior League countries. Chelsea is a native of Memphis and a highly trained soprano who has performed with Opera Memphis as an artist in residence at the Chautauqua, I don't know why that didn't come out, with the Chautauqua Institute, and as a young artist at the Des Moines Metro Opera. This coming summer, she will be debuting her dream role of Cunegonde in Candide with the Ohio Light Opera. Please rise for the singing of the anthems.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen, send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save our Queen. Mexicanos a grito de guerra, el acero apresadi el bridón, y tiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y tiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Signo patria, tu sienes de oliva, de la paz el arcángel divino, que en el cielo tu eterno destino por dedo de Dios escribió. Mas si osare un extraño enemigo profanar son tu planta, tu suelo, piensa, oh patria querida, que el cielo son el candanterío de Dios y su santo te dio. Mexicano rosso grito de guerra, el acero apresado y el bridón, y tiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y tiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Oh, Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front est saint de plus glorieux, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits, et ta valeur, deux fois trompée, protégera nos foyers et nos droits. Nos foyers et nos droits. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing heart we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Chelsea, thank you. That was amazing. Thank you. Truly beautiful. We will now hear greetings from the governments of the 4 countries in which junior leagues are located. First, we'll hear from Colaine Blades of the Junior League of London, who brings greetings from the British government.
A greeting from Theresa May, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I am delighted to extend my warmest thanks and congratulations to the members of the Junior League of London and their partner leagues around the world. The Junior League of London is making a truly fantastic contribution to the local community by supporting volunteering projects that improve the lives of the most vulnerable people, from improving literacy to helping those who are homeless. I hope that others are inspired to follow the lead of Junior League volunteers. Thank you for the contribution you all make in helping to improve communities all around the world. I wish you all a very productive and enjoyable conference.
Next, Marta Yaza, President of the Junior League of Mexico City, brings greetings from the Mexican government.
Mensaje con motivo de la 96 Conferencia Anual de Association of Junior Leagues International. Me es muy grato dirigirme a las voluntarias de esta gran institución altruista que es the Association of Junior Leagues International, cuya labor comprometida y desinteresada contribuye a mejorar la calidad de vida en cada una de las comunidades en las que están presentes sus voluntarias. Esta extraordinaria organización de la sociedad civil se distingue por la originalidad de su enfoque, por la diversidad de sus áreas de acción y por la profundidad de su impacto. Al dirigir sus esfuerzos a desarrollar el potencial de las mujeres como líderes cívicas, la Junior League transforma ciudadanas en poderosas agentes de cambio que participan activamente en la solución de problemas colectivos. Del combate a la contaminación, a la protección de las víctimas de violencia familiar, de la protección de la salud a la promoción de valores universales, esta organización cambia mentes y actitudes. Al hacerlo, contribuye al bienestar de nuestras sociedades. Me congratulo de que México sea uno de los países que tienen el privilegio de contar con una gran rama de esta valiosa asociación de mujeres talentosas, preparadas y resueltas que son factores de cambio en la sociedad. Su acción, compromiso y ejemplo son motivo de inspiración para todos. Les expreso a las participantes en su conferencia anual mi reconocimiento y mi gratitud al tiempo que les deseo éxito en sus trabajos. Enrique Peña Nieto. Now in English. I'll do my best, okay? Message to the Association of Junior Leagues International on their 96th annual conference. It is my pleasure to address the volunteers of the Association of Junior Leagues International whose selfless commitment and altruism contribute to the improvement of the quality of life in each and every community they touch. This extraordinary organization is characterized by the originality of its focus, the diversity of the areas where it interacts, and the depth of its impact. By concentrating on the development of women's potential as civic leaders, it transforms them into powerful agents of change who participate in solving the collective problems that affect us all. Whether it is solving ecological problems, protecting victims of violence, health education, or promotion of human rights, this organization changes attitudes and behaviors, and in doing so, it contributes to the well-being of our society. I am proud that Mexico is one of the countries privileged to have a junior league where talented, professional, and committed volunteers are changing global community. Their actions, example, and impact are the source of inspiration and pride. To all the participants of this 96th annual conference, I wish you success and send you my recognition and congratulations. Enrique Peña Nieto, President of Mexico.
And now we will hear from Melissa Oster, incoming president of the Junior League of Toronto, who brings greetings from the Canadian government.
So
okay, ladies, give him a woo. Woo! Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So, dear friends, I'm pleased to extend my warmest greetings to the members of the Canadian Federation of Junior Leagues attending the 96th Annual Conference of the Association of Junior Leagues International. The Canadian Federation of Junior Leagues brings together over 860 women from across the country who are committed to volunteerism and to the mission of the AJLI. This annual conference provides a wonderful opportunity for members of the AJLI to celebrate their many accomplishments and to set goals for the future. In Canada and around the world, women are powerful agents of change. I would like to commend all of those associated with the AJLI for their dedication to supporting and empowering women and girls in their communities. On behalf of the Government of Canada, I wish you a productive and memorable meeting. Now en français. Chers chemins, je suis heureux de présenter mes salutations les plus chaleureuses aux membres de la Fédération canadienne de jeunes lignes. Participant à la 26e conférence annuelle de l'Association of Junior Leagues International. La Fédération canadienne de jeunes lignes réunit plus de 860 femmes de partout au pays qui sont engagées à l'égard du bénévolat de la mission de la AJLI. Cette conférence annuelle offre aux membres de AJLI une merveilleuse occasion de célébrer les nombreuses réalisations et d'établir l'objectif pour l'avenir. Au Canada et partout dans le monde, les femmes constituent de puissants agents de change. Je tiens à saluer toutes les personnes associées à AJLI pour leur dévouement à appuyer aux autonomies les femmes et les filles de leur communauté. Au nom du gouvernement du Canada, je vous souhaite une rencontre des plus productive et mémorable. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. Thank you.
Jennifer Taylor, President of the Junior League of Memphis, brings greetings from the United States government.
From the White House, I send greetings of those gathered for the 96th Annual Conference of the Association of Junior Leagues International. It is no small achievement for an organization to thrive for more than a century. Since 1901, the Junior League has helped to empower women in the United States and around the world to become leaders in their communities and to address local, national, and global issues. As a testament to the founding ideals of the Junior Leagues, generations of women have given much of their time and talents to improve childhood development and literacy programs, to enhance public health initiatives, and to combat human trafficking. Today, women continue to serve in many vital capacities, enriching the lives of many and building a brighter and more prosperous future for all. Melania joins me in thanking each of you for your commitment to education and charity. We send our best wishes for a memorable event. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.
Thank you, ladies. These greetings from our heads of state remind us of our collective impact, past and present. In that spirit, let's also take a moment to remember former United States First Lady Barbara Bush, who passed away Tuesday evening. She was a member of two junior leagues, Midland and Houston, and will be remembered for her strength, her candor, and her commitment to issues that we, as the Junior League, all care about. We cannot be more proud that she was one of us. And now I'd like to ask Bethany McRae, site chair from the Junior League of Memphis, to join Jenny at the podium.
Welcome to Memphis, the bluff city, the home of the blues, and inventor of dry rub baby back ribs. Since 1922, the Junior League of Memphis has focused on creating strong communities by developing the potential of its members through training, mentoring, and volunteering. We create a sense of community, a fellowship of women, a legacy of mentors, and a network of friends who support the Mid-South. We invite you to take in the views of the mighty Mississippi by just heading up to the rooftop of the Peabody. You might find some ducks that live up there. Take a stroll down Main Street and dine at one of our famous barbecue joints.
Enjoy Memphis and have an amazing conference. As the Southern saying goes, there are no just strangers, just friends we haven't met yet. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jenny and Bethany, and thank you to all of the members of the Junior League of Memphis. It was truly my pleasure to spend the first 2 days this week with your league. Thank you. We cannot wait to get to know you, your league, and the city better this weekend. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the Board of Directors of the Association of Junior Leagues International. Each will rise when introduced and will remain standing to receive your applause at the end of the introductions. Laura Lee Alexander, President-elect, Junior League of Monterey County. Shuba Lembach, Vice President, Junior League of Columbus, Ohio. Elizabeth Tominski, Secretary, Junior League of Boston. Renee Tucci, Treasurer, Junior League of San Francisco. Bett Williams, Governance Committee Chair, Junior League of Columbia. Malia Fallon, Governance Vice Chair, Junior League of Minneapolis. Laura Creekmore, Junior League of Nashville. Carol Goodman, Junior League of Baltimore. Ingrid Jacobson, Junior League of London. Coyo Munoz, Junior League of Mexico City. Audrey Ring, Junior League of Greater Fort Lauderdale. Deborah Rabe San Ramon, Junior League of Mexico City. Darci Swanson, Junior League of Yakima. Michelle Vaeth, Junior League of Cincinnati. Terri Broussard Williams, Junior League of Austin. And Terri Winham, Junior League of Northwest Arkansas, who will be joining us tomorrow evening. Thank you all, from the bottom of my heart, for all your dedicated service to the association. Okay, you can sit down now. Susan Danish, AJLI's CEO and Executive Director, is here on the dais with us. And members of the association staff, all who have joined us this afternoon. Will the staff and Susan please stand? These women and men, they're all around. These women and men who work diligently to provide services for all of the junior leagues. I hope you will take the opportunity to get to know the staff while we are here in Memphis, and please join me again in thanking them for their efforts on behalf of all of us. Thank you. Will the first session of the annual meeting please come to order? The first order of business today is the roll call. First, we're going to determine if we have a quorum based on both the actual attendance of the leagues and the number of proxies reported thus far. Then we will enjoy our traditional celebration of our association of 291 junior leagues in 4 countries, with the association secretary, Elizabeth Tomensky, calling the roll of each junior league. I call on the association secretary, Elizabeth Tomensky, who will report the attendance.
Madam President, HLI bylaws state that a majority of the junior leagues entitled to vote who are present in person or by proxy constitutes quorum. That means the presence of 146 junior leagues constitutes quorum. The official registration of junior leagues presence as of today, April 19, 2018, is 206 leagues. In addition, 1 league is reported being represented by proxy. Therefore, the number of leagues present or represented by proxy is 207. Therefore, I move that the registration be accepted and we have a quorum.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the registration report. A majority vote is required for adoption. If there's no objection, the chair proposes to take a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. The ayes have it, and the meeting registration is adopted. And now the secretary will call the roll.
As I call the roll of the junior leagues, we will take you through nearly 12 decades of our history of leadership and community impact. Our history and heritage will be shared by decade. At the end of each decade, I will read the list of leagues joining the association that decade, and we will see the lights on our junior league map grow. When I conclude reading the list, I will ask all of the delegates from those leagues to respond present all at the same time and turn their bright, blingy rings on and raise their hands high. The rings will remain lit throughout the roll call to illustrate the growth of the junior leagues, although you can put your hands down. Let me repeat the directions once more. At the end of each decade, I will read the list of leagues, and at the end of the list, I will ask all of the leagues named to respond present in unison. Let's begin our video history now.
For more than a century, Junior League members have confronted society's most pressing issues and tackled its toughest problems, leaving a legacy of reform like no other. But in a complex world, accelerating and advancing at a rapid pace, change is uncomfortable, conflicts are inevitable, and challenges are cyclical. Problems loom large, while leadership talent and funding are scarce. To fight these battles, find solutions, and advocate for those in need, a renewable army of women, empowered as agents of positive change, is essential. Preparing women to serve their communities is the Junior League's mission, because tomorrow there will be new issues and new challenges, and the women of the Junior League will continue to serve as the undeterred voices for action, justice, and change. The turn of the century was a time of fast-paced change in the world. The promise of freedom and opportunity lured many immigrants to America's shores. Settlement house workers tackled urban problems and provided desperately needed services to these new arrivals. At 18, Mary Harriman was preparing to enter Barnard College. Mary possessed a well-developed social conscience and was inspired one day by a lecture on the settlement work being done on New York's Lower East Side. She and her friend, Natalie Henderson, recruited their fellow debutantes to form a group to support the work of the settlement houses. And in 1901, the Junior League for the Promotion of the Settlement Movement was born. It became the first Junior League.
Will the Junior League of the City of New York, as our very first league, please respond present and show us your ring?
Junior League work soon expanded when volunteers and professional teachers went into homes together. Their visiting teachers concept was adopted by the New York City school system. In Brooklyn, League members identified the need for free lunches in the public schools and successfully petitioned the Board of Education. Once again, the idea would become a model for school lunch programs elsewhere.
In this first decade of the 20th century, 3 new leagues were founded, the Junior Leagues of Boston, Brooklyn, and Portland, Oregon. Will Boston, Brooklyn, and Portland, Oregon please respond present and show me your rings? It does.
During the second decade of the 20th century, the role of women in the public arena strengthened. Out of the settlement house movement had come a new respect for social work and for women as volunteers. As more leagues were formed and membership increased, committee efforts branched out into visiting nurse programs and baby shelters, even dressmaking classes and hospital work. To keep members connected, a Junior League bulletin was created in 1911. During World War I, Junior Leagues played an active role in selling war bonds. The San Francisco League formed a motor delivery service that served as a model for the nationwide Red Cross Motor Corps. The suffragette movement was also in full swing. The St. Louis League was formed in 1915 specifically to support the cause. By the end of the 1910s, the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution passed, giving all American women the right to vote.
21 additional leagues were formed in this decade. The Junior Leagues of Baltimore, Chicago, Cleveland, Philadelphia, San Francisco, the Oranges and Short Hills, Washington, D.C., Detroit, Kansas City, St. Louis, Atlanta, Milwaukee, Racine, Albany, New York, Chattanooga, St. Paul, Wilmington, Delaware, Denver, Buffalo, Omaha, and Poughkeepsie. Will the 21 leagues prior to 1920 please respond present and show us your rings?
As the 20s roared in, young women empowered by the vote searched for new roles. With economic prosperity, the leagues looked for ways to expand the cultural horizons of their communities. Children's theater, with early roots of storytelling in the settlement house, was founded by the Junior League of Chicago. The idea was quickly taken up by more than 100 leagues. League membership continued to grow. Leagues voted to create the Association of Junior Leagues of America in 1921 to manage conferences and the admission of new leagues, as well as to publish the bulletin. In 1929, Ruth Pratt became the first Junior League member and first woman from New York to be elected to the U.S. Congress. She blazed the trail for many league members since, who have translated league training into local or national positions of prominence.
During the 1920s, 77 more leagues were formed in the U.S. and Canada. The Junior Leagues of Cincinnati, Dayton, Eastern Fairfield County, Syracuse, Duluth, Hartford, Knoxville, Lincoln, Louisville, Montclair, Newark, Rhode Island, St. Joseph, Sioux City, Tacoma, Greater Princeton, Birmingham, Alabama, Dallas, Indianapolis, Kingston, Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville, Orange County, New York, Pittsburgh, Portland, Maine, Greater Springfield, Massachusetts, Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston, West Virginia, Columbus, Ohio, Honolulu, Greater New Haven, Elizabeth, Plainfield, Stamford, Norwalk, Tulsa, Winston-Salem, Colorado Springs, Evanston, North Shore, Jacksonville, Lancaster, Lexington, Minneapolis, New Orleans, Reading, San Antonio, Seattle, Columbia, Erie, Grand Rapids, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Parkersburg, Santa Barbara, Spokane, Wichita, Worcester, Akron, Charlotte, Houston, Los Angeles, Montgomery, Pasadena, Savannah, Toronto, Asheville, Miami, Richmond, Boise, Flint, Greensboro, Oklahoma City, Roanoke Valley, Tampa, Augusta, Harrisburg, Lynchburg, San Diego, Troy, and Williamsport. Will the 77 junior leagues of the Roaring Twenties please respond present and show us those rings?
The Great Depression of the 1930s ushered in difficult times, and the need for junior league services rose. Leagues focused on the direct needs of their communities through child lunch programs, anti-tuberculosis campaigns, unemployment bureaus, and homes for disabled children. Some leagues realized that responding to need alone was not enough. 4 Virginia leagues formed the first state public affairs committee, which changed and improved the state's policy toward child foster care. At the end of this decade, the junior league movement expanded across the U.S. and Canada, as well as into Mexico.
During this decade, 36 leagues joined the association. The junior leagues of Fort Worth, Mexico City, Raleigh, Rockford, Des Moines, Greater Elmira, Corning, Mobile, St. Petersburg, Binghamton, Schenectady and Saratoga counties, Youngstown, El Paso, Bergen County, Halifax, Huntington, Berkshire County, Rochester, Shreveport-Bossier, Toledo, Tucson, Austin, Cedar Rapids, Hamilton, Burlington, the Great Lakes Bay region, Salt Lake City, Wilkes-Barre, Oakland East Bay, Phoenix, Columbus, Georgia, Morristown, Peoria, Stark County, Macon, Topeka, Durham and Orange counties, and Great Falls. Will the 36 junior leagues of the 1930s respond presents and turn on your rings?
The 1940s are indelibly linked to World War II. Canadian leagues drove in the motor corps, served in blood banks, and were the first to establish volunteer bureaus to support the war effort. This idea expanded to the U.S., where junior league volunteers, with their expertise in recruiting and training, were once again called upon to serve their country. Members like Ovida Kolpavi of the Houston League assumed national leadership positions. She was tapped by Congress to help create the Women's Army Corps, known as the WACs. In addition to the war efforts, the leagues created other new services, such as the very first mobile cancer clinic, which was established by the Louisville League.
The junior league movement grew by 23 in this decade. The junior leagues of Scranton, Wheeling, Fort Wayne, Jackson, Pelham, Sacramento, the Lehigh Valley, Corpus Christi, South Bend, Amarillo, Beaumont, Waco, Greenville, South Carolina, Greater Orlando, Central Westchester, Texarkana, Albuquerque, Battle Creek, Bronxville, Lansing, Long Beach, Galveston County, and Wyandotte and Johnson counties. Will the junior leagues of the 1940s respond presents, and please show us your rings.
In the 1950s, the Junior League began to face societal changes. With returning GIs and the formation of numerous new families, a home with children in the suburbs became the norm for many women. Nearly 150 junior leagues were involved in remedial reading centers, diagnostic testing programs, and programs for gifted and talented children. The Junior League of Mexico City extended its work to the blind. A visit from Helen Keller brought international recognition. By 1962, the league had built the most comprehensive center for the blind in the Spanish-speaking world. With TV in its infancy, junior leagues were among the first to push for quality programming for children and collaborated in the development of educational TV. Junior leagues were involved in more than 300 arts projects and multiple partnerships across many cities to establish children's museums and other cultural outlets. Throughout their history, leagues have found innovative ways to raise funds to support their work. Thrift shops, follies, galas, markets, and more. Though Augusta, Georgia wrote the very first cookbook, it was with the publication and astute marketing of Charleston Receipts that the cookbook gained a momentum that continues today.
In the 1950s, 20 more leagues joined the association. The junior leagues of Westchester on the Sound, Springfield, Illinois, Westchester on Hudson, Spartanburg, Birmingham, Michigan, High Point, Wilmington, North Carolina, Northern Westchester, Ogden, Lubbock, Abilene, Baton Rouge, Calgary, Hampton Roads, San Angelo, Kingsport, Greater Fort Lauderdale, Greenwich, Edmonton, and Fresno. Let's hear from the junior leagues of the 1950s. Please say present and show us your rings.
The 1960s brought everyone, including the Junior League, into a new reality. Young women were no longer expected to simply marry and settle down. Monumental shifts were at work in the lives and dreams of women. The League's long commitment to the arts flourished, with reading programs, art appreciation, music, and nature. Historic preservation projects became a popular community contribution. Environmental issues also became a concern. The Junior League of Toledo produced and promoted Fate of a River, a documentary on water pollution. League members were asked to testify before Congress. Their actions at the local, state, and federal levels were critical in advancing passage of the Clean Water Act in 1972.
In the 1960s, 22 more leagues joined the association. The junior leagues of Fort Smith, Tyler, Tallahassee, Evansville, York, the Palm Beaches, Riverside, Eugene, Long Island, Monterey County, Albany, Georgia, Midland, Bakersfield, Palo Alto Mid-Peninsula, Summit, Monmouth County, Fargo Moorhead, Lake Charles, San Jose, Pensacola, Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and Wichita Falls. Will the junior leagues of the 1960s say present and turn on your rings?
In the 1970s, leagues affirmed their commitment to a diverse membership by adopting the Reaching Out Statement, which welcomed women of all races, religions, and national origins who demonstrate an interest in and commitment to volunteerism. The leagues further expanded their participation in public affairs. Impact was a 4-year collaboration between more than 200 leagues and the U.S. government to improve the criminal and juvenile justice systems. St. Louis also designed the Teen Outreach Program to increase graduation rates and reduce teen pregnancy. It was recognized and replicated association-wide. Leagues provided training for retirees to become community volunteers through an association pilot, Project VIE. Despite the growth of the organization, this was also a time when the role of the volunteer was questioned by women's groups who felt their fight for equal rights clashed with the idea of volunteerism. Association leaders went on record validating volunteerism as a significant avenue for women to achieve leadership positions. Their voices were heard.
In the 1970s, 23 leagues joined the association, the Junior Leagues of Billings, Orange County, California, Las Vegas, Clearwater, Dunedin, Champaign-Urbana, DeKalb County, Lafayette, Greater Lakeland, Owensboro, Alexandria, Gainesville, Huntsville, Cobb Marietta, Sarasota, Tuscaloosa, Springfield, Missouri, Greater Alton, Fayetteville, Odessa, Pueblo, North Little Rock, Gaston County, and Reno. Will the Junior Leagues of the 1970s say present and show us your rings?
In the 1980s, junior leagues took on new and often controversial issues. Leagues helped gain passage of the first federal legislation to address domestic violence, the Family Violence Prevention and Services Act of 1984. In 1985, the Junior League launched Woman to Woman, a 3-year international public awareness program addressing alcohol abuse among women. More than 100 leagues participated. In 1986, the Junior League of Los Angeles was the first league to tackle AIDS, a daring new addition to the league's agenda. Leagues continued their work with children through programs like Project Lead, an international leadership training program for marginalized youth. This was also the decade during which the Junior League of Phoenix member Sandra Day O'Connor was named the first woman to the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Junior League movement expanded to the United Kingdom.
In the 1980s, 35 leagues joined the association. The Junior Leagues of Bristol, South Brevard, Kalamazoo, Richardson, Athens, Longview, Quad Cities, Yakima, Charlottesville, Arlington, Monroe, Annapolis, Central and North Brevard, Norman, Victoria, Boca Raton, Collin County, Daytona Beach, Johnson City, Northern Virginia, London, Sioux Falls, McAllen, Harlingen, Manatee County, Fort Myers, Fort Collins, Lawton, the Emerald Coast, Ann Arbor, Morgan County, Bryan College Station, Bell County, Ocala, and Florence. Let's hear it from the leagues of the 1980s. Say present and show us your rings.
The 1990s was a decade of prosperity, with more women as the primary wage earners in the family, more women in business and in government. Leagues were leading the march for policy change at the top, as members continued to advocate for critical issues like domestic violence with the Silent Witness Initiative. Building on environmental concerns, the Junior League of Mexico City began their country's first substantive recycling project and were instrumental in the passage of environmental legislation in Mexico. The Junior League of Cleveland encouraged leagues to come together for the Don't Wait to Vaccinate campaign, an international awareness program to prevent childhood illnesses. The campaign was implemented by all 276 leagues at the time. It was in the 90s that the Association of Junior Leagues International, or AJLI, established the Mary Harriman Community Leadership Award to recognize outstanding women who, like our founder, have made a lasting difference through their lifelong commitment to volunteerism. Sandra Day O'Connor, Ruth Collins Sharp Altshuler, Deborah Taylor Tate, Lyda Hill, and Ann McDonald Milling are a few who have been honored.
23 leagues joined the association in the 90s. The junior leagues of Douglas County, the Woodlands, Gwinnett and North Fulton counties, Greater Winter Haven, Anniston Calhoun, Anderson County, Eau Claire, Olympia, Madison, Gainesville, Hall County, Indian River, Kane and DuPage counties, Jackson County, La Cruces, Palm Springs Desert Communities, Napa Sonoma, Murfreesboro, Lufkin, the Flint Hills, Lee County, Moore County, Greater Covington, and Northwest Arkansas. Will the leagues of the 1990s please respond present and show us your rings?
As we marked a new century, the Junior League movement celebrated 100 years of dedicated volunteer service. In recognition of its extraordinary legacy, AJLI was chosen to co-chair the U.S. committee during the United Nations International Year of Volunteers. Firmly footed in the 21st century, leagues continue to tackle both evergreen and emerging issues that plague our society, all while thoughtfully exploring ways in which to secure the organization's health, vitality, and viability for generations to come. In 2005, the association initiated a childhood obesity program called Junior Leagues Kids in the Kitchen. Since its inception, more than 200 leagues have helped raise awareness of this modern-day issue. In 2009, the association embarked on a multi-year, multidisciplinary transformation effort to address key areas affecting leagues and their ability to survive and thrive, such as community impact, league governance, operations, technology, fund development, membership, brand awareness, training, and education. The following year, the Junior League was honored by the United Nations Association for groundbreaking work generating awareness of human trafficking and the child sex trade. The number of leagues engaged in this work has grown dramatically, and their impact has been profound. From successfully sponsoring and supporting legislation protecting victims and punishing perpetrators, to producing acclaimed films about the subject and convening key constituents to address the problem. In addition to their work surrounding human trafficking, the Junior Leagues of California State Public Affairs Committee have focused their attention on several other issues. They have joined forces to successfully advocate for Perinatal Depression Awareness Month and the Child Nutrition Reauthorization Act, supporting legislation for a transitional guardianship program for emancipating foster care youth, and advocating for federal legislation on the development of topical microbicides to prevent and protect against STDs. In 2015, the leagues adopted a new diversity and inclusion commitment statement that welcomes all women who value our mission. It further confirms a commitment to inclusive environments for diverse individuals, organizations, and communities.
We've welcomed 7 leagues to the association thus far this century. The junior leagues of Martin County, Champlain Valley, the Shoals, San Joaquin County, Guadalajara, Panama City, and Greenville, North Carolina. Will the 21st century leagues please say present and show us your rings?
True to their legacy, today's league members are at the forefront of tackling society's thorniest issues for the express purpose of enhancing the social, cultural, and political fabric of our society. As a result of this work, the Junior League has amassed an archive of irrefutable results and an indisputable reputation as thoughtful and influential change agents for the public good.
I would like to ask all delegates to please stand and hold your hand high as a symbol of the power of association. We have called the roll. We have honored our past and 117 years of service, and we have set the stage for the next 117 years. Our history shows us how we have always met the changing needs of our communities and our times, as we've continually reimagined the leadership of women to meet those needs.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And now, we would like to recognize some of our oldest junior leagues who will begin celebrating significant anniversaries between this 2018 annual conference and the annual conference of 2019. I'm going to recognize each league, so let's make some noise for them, and when their names are called, let's let them hear it. After this afternoon's session, we invite the delegates from each anniversary league to pick up their commemorative plaques at the registration, and please bring them to the green room after the closing banquet on Saturday night, where we will take a photo for your league. Celebrating their 50th anniversaries, the junior leagues of Pensacola, Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and Wichita Falls. Let's hear it. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, the Junior League of Lehigh Valley. Celebrating their 80th anniversaries, the Junior Leagues of Durham and Orange Counties and Great Falls. Celebrating their 85th anniversaries, the Junior Leagues of Bergen County and Berkshire County, El Paso, Huntington, Rochester, Toledo, and Tucson. Celebrating their 90th anniversary, the Junior Leagues of Boise, Flint, Greensboro, Oklahoma City, Roanoke Valley, and Tampa. Nine leagues are celebrating their 95th anniversary. The Junior Leagues of Winston-Salem, Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston, West Virginia, Columbus, Ohio, Elizabeth, Plainfield, Honolulu, Greater New Haven, Stamford, Norwalk, and Tulsa. Celebrating a century of service, leadership, and impact, the Junior League of Wilmington, Delaware. When I stop to think about it, it's a testament to our mission and our members that we can once again be here at annual conference celebrating 100 years. Let's take a moment to congratulate them again. But 100 years isn't the end. It's still the beginning, especially in an organization like ours with an enduring mission. With that thought in mind, let's recognize the League celebrating its 105th anniversary. 105 years. The Junior League of the Oranges and Short Hills. Congratulations to all of our anniversary leagues again, and we will have your plaques for you at registration. The next order of business is the adoption of the conference rules, which were included in the call to conference materials. If there is no objection, we will dispense with the meeting of the rules. Are there any questions about the conference rules? The question is on the adoption of the conference rules, which requires 2/3 vote. If there is no objection, we will have a standing vote by the voting delegates of each member league. Those in favor, please rise. Those opposed, oh, you can sit down. That would be confusing, huh? Those opposed, please rise. The conference rules are adopted. The business now in order is to adopt the program, which includes the agenda for the conference. The question is the adoption of the program, which requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion? You have to yell if there is, because I can't see you. Are you ready for the question? If there's no objection, we will take a voice vote by the voting delegates. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say no. The conference program is adopted. The minutes of the 2017 annual conference have been approved by the Minutes Approval Committee in accordance with the procedures established in the conference rules. The chair now calls on the Association Governance Committee Chair, Bett Williams, who will thank the 2017-2018 Governance Committee, announce the results of AJLI 2018 and 19 elections, and introduce the newly elected members of the Association Board of Directors and the Association Governance Committee.
Thank you, Carol. Madam Chair, it is with great pleasure that I introduce members of the 2017-2018 Association Governance Committee, all of whom are with us at this conference. First, the outgoing at-large members of the Governance Committee, whom I thank deeply for their 2 years of service. They are in the audience, and please stand when I call your name. Gwen Londrigan, Junior League of Clearwater Dunedin. Katie Schuck, Junior League of Sioux Falls. Jeff Tossig, Junior League of the City of New York. I also wish to acknowledge the service of the ongoing at-large members of the 2017-2019 Governance Committee, who will continue in their 2-year terms this coming year. Please stand when I read your name. Julianne Averill, Junior League of Oakland East Bay. Catherine Gerson, Junior League of Kansas City. LaShonda Kennedy, Junior League of Cedar Rapids. And Sandra Thompson, Junior League of Orange County, California. I I encourage delegates to seek out and talk with the members of the Governance Committee throughout the conference, and you can also find them at the governance table in the marketplace area. We are happy to talk with you about our experience serving the association, the open positions for terms beginning June 1, 2019, and how you can help identify future association leaders from your leagues. I am now very pleased to announce the results of the association elections for members of the AJLI Board of Directors and Governance Committee. I will first announce the results for members of the AJLI Board of Directors, and I will begin with the newly elected officers and then the newly elected directors. Please hold your applause until the end of the introductions. Last year, Laurel Lee Alexander, Junior League of Monterey County, was duly elected as our association's president-elect. She will automatically assume the position of president for the 2018-2020 and continue to serve on the AJLI Board of Directors. Elizabeth Tominski, Junior League of Boston, has been duly elected by the Junior Leagues for a 2-year term as the association vice president serving 2018-2020. This immediately follows her term in 2016-2018 as association secretary. And Cece Gassner of Junior League of Boise has been elected by the Junior Leagues for a 2-year term as the 2018-2020 association secretary. Members of the Board of Directors who have been duly elected by the Junior Leagues as at-large directors to serve a term as a director for 3 years, 2018 to 2021, are Zena Martin, Junior League of Savannah, Ness Okonkwo, Junior League of Los Angeles, and Whitney Wilson Wirtz, Junior League of Charlotte. The member of the Board of Directors who's been duly elected by the Junior Leagues to serve as the Governance Committee Vice Chair for 1-year term in 2018 to 2019 is Paula Perkins, Junior League of Wichita Falls. After her 1-year term as Vice Chair, she will succeed to the position of Chair of the Committee for a 1-year term, 2019 to 2020. Last year, Malia Fallon, Junior League of Minneapolis, was duly elected the Governance Committee Vice Chair. She will automatically assume the position of Governance Committee Chair for the 2018-19 year and continue to serve on the AJLI Board of Directors. Please join me in congratulating the incoming members of the AJLI Board of Directors. Now it gives me great pride to announce those women who have been duly elected as at-large members of the Association Governance Committee, who will serve our member leagues for the next 2 years, 2018 to 2020. Please stand when I call your names. Paulette Evans, Junior League of Greensboro. Nicole Hubbard, Junior League of Tampa. And Sarah Mayer, Junior League of Phoenix. Please join me in congratulating the incoming members of the Association Governance Committee.
I have to get caught up here. Thank you, Bett, and my congratulations to all those who have been elected. And now the chair calls again on Bett Williams from the Junior League of Columbia.
So I have the tough job of introducing you all to one of the most recognizable people of the Junior League, Association President Carol Scott. And it is a tough job because I only have a few short moments to introduce someone who never stops working and has made such an incredible contribution to the Junior League movement and to so many individual Junior Leagues and Junior League leaders. For many of us, we first experienced Carol, and she is an experience. As one of the association's most popular and insightful trainers. Her sessions at conferences were filled with aspiring leaders in search of practical how-to knowledge, on how to be more effective fundraisers and league leaders. And she delivered time and time and time again. That magic formula on how to deliver on our shared mission of promoting volunteerism, developing the potential of women, and improving our communities. Carol had and still has the wonderful ability to get all of us to find answers within ourselves and bring forward what will make us those catalysts for lasting change. That alone makes her legacy to the Junior League movement significant and incredibly consequential. And that alone would have been legacy enough, but she had more to offer. I had the privilege of being on the governance committee that slated Carol to serve as president of the association. And while her Junior League credentials, including past president of the Junior League of Pasadena, former association secretary and board member, were ample qualifications, her contributions outside of the league are significant and impressive, not the least of which is her daughter, Melinda. President of the Junior, I knew this was the part that was going to get me. President of the Junior League of Fresno, who has had to share her mother with us for all these years. So thank you to Melinda. Carol serves as a board member of the National Women's Hall of Fame, and she has led governance work for a myriad of nonprofit organizations in transformative processes. And she is one of our nation's experts in building children's museums, having led 3 different communities in their museum journeys. She has always had a passion for children's issues, especially those who are hearing impaired, and for women's equity. As an ardent champion for diversity and inclusion, Carol has been leading our organization in that conversation for many years, almost decades. In addition to her uncanny ability to operate on very little sleep, Carol has brought to this role her deep and strong connection to our member leagues. I would guess that she has spent more days on the road visiting leagues, seeking meaningful conversations with league leaders than she has spent at home with her ever-patient husband, Mark. The result is that she has strengthened the bonds between the association and its member leagues and set us on a productive path leading forward together into the future. She has championed our shared values discussion and approached hard conversations on race and inclusion with courage and conviction. As chair of the board of directors, she had led on modernizing on how our board does its work so that we can be more nimble for the challenges ahead. It is an understatement to say she has been a pivotal leader in ensuring the future of the Junior League. However, most importantly to so many of us, and on a very personal note, Carol has challenged all of us, every one of us, to develop and grow into the leaders she knows that we can be, so that we're prepared to lead the Junior League into the future, a future that is inclusive and impactful. So as Carol convenes this annual conference and as she transitions leadership to Laurel Lee Alexander, please join me in thanking Carol for her service, her commitment, and for what she has meant to so many of us.
That is enough. I'll say more about all of that Saturday, so I need to get through this because this is important. This is the state of the association. We, the women of the Junior League, hear our message. We are a movement. We are meaningful, and we have no plans of slowing down. We are unstoppable. Do you agree? Do you want to prove it in these next few days? Then that's precisely what we're here to do. I so appreciate each of you for taking time out of your busy lives to come together, for what you left behind, for what you put on hold, or for taking care of during breaks. Thank you for all those sacrifices. Thank you for making us your priority. And thank you to the Junior League of Memphis for hosting us, to all of those who have worked so hard to bring this conference together. I thank you. Nothing stopped them, and nothing stopped you. And yet so many, way too many, through no fault of their own, their lives were stopped this past year. Let's take a moment to remember some of those. Lives were stopped because of record-breaking worldwide national disasters, and there were so many this year. Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Maria, along with numerous tropical storms. The devastating fires, London Grenfell Tower, across California, as well as Chile and Portugal. The earthquakes, especially the ones that rocked Mexico, floodwaters, tornadoes, and the list goes on and on. And there were the lives that were stopped because of man-made disasters. The London Tube bombing, protests and confrontations such as in Charlottesville, Virginia, the very recent mail bomber in Austin, Texas, and the shootings, way too many shootings in our communities, in Vegas, in our schools, including Parkland, Florida. Terror and tragedies ricocheted throughout the globe and dominated the news cycles, one replacing another, making us really almost tone deaf. Let me clearly clarify that a little bit, making some of us tone deaf, but not the Junior League. Not the Junior League members, not any of you. Junior League stepped forward, joining first responders, establishing programs, collaborating with other organizations, raising funds, supporting each other. When others walked away, stopped listening, or threw up their hands in helplessness, we did not. Junior League women have always been unstoppable. Mary Harriman was unstoppable when she founded the Junior League in 1901. She was part of a group of influential young women of her time who broke the mold of what women could do, of what was fashionable and proper, to address the needs in her community. Members like Eleanor Roosevelt and numerous other First Ladies. Members like the first appointed woman in the U.S. Supreme Court, Sandra Day O'Connor, and modern-day members like Elizabeth Redenbach, Junior League of Wilmington, North Carolina, who stood up against school redistricting because it created modern-day segregation. Members who are and who were business leaders, elected representatives, athletes, actors, authors, journalists, homemakers, philanthropists, and activists. Members who, since our founding, have tackled many of society's most critical issues: free lunch in schools, juvenile justice, domestic violence, women and alcohol, AIDS, human trafficking, food insecurity, and the opioid crisis. In other words, members like you. As I have traveled across the association, I have seen so many examples of leagues addressing the modern challenges of this complex and fast-paced world. And for that, when I look at the state of our association, I am very hopeful. The association Somebody must have caused that. Okay. The association is in very solid financial position. Our reserves are $6.9 million, worth 12 months of reserves. And what that means is we can continue to invest to support you, our member leagues. To that end, the board supports an investment spending budget for the coming year, a deficit. The deficit was well explained in the service plan and budget, but briefly last year the AJLI board approved a deficit. Not all of the funds were used this year, so we support a second year. We stand on solid footing. We also stand in a world of accelerating change, and we are in a moment in time when voices of change are louder than ever. And I wonder, what's our role? What's our obligation? Where are our voices? When an organization is 117 years old, change is hard, and change can be slow. But change we must if we are to stay relevant. So, how do we do so? With intentionality. Think about what it means to be intentional. And all of you know what that word means to me. Author and educator Ann Ebsen put it this way: to be intentional is to act purposefully, with a goal in mind and a plan for accomplishing it. We must, as an organization, we must act purposefully. As an association, we have been on a path of organizational transformation for several years. It's a path of purposefulness and a path about relevance. We know that there are three key appealing to women today. One is we must ensure that our community work has a great impact, that we make a difference. Two, we must ensure that our leagues are well run, whether you are in a leadership role or not. You need your time to be well spent. And if not, you have lots of other options. And three, we must offer women flexibility to meet their busy lives. The solutions to each of these may not be easy. To develop the partnerships and the collaborations that add up to greater impact in our work. To spread leadership differently, because league leadership today is not a full-time job for most of us. Or to provide a different member-centric member experience to all members, as the old formula may not be working. Only you, as the leaders of your leagues, can intentionally make that change happen. So we shape goals that move us forward, to give forward. One goal and a key to our future and to our membership is diversity and inclusion. I want us, Junior League members, to be the voice of reason and compassion. I want us to be the role models for civil discourse, to be at the heart of an inclusive and equitable society. There is much to do to change the conversation and to open eyes and ears, hearts and minds. The association continues its commitment to support our diversity, equity, and inclusive efforts. The time last year, the association provided a new toolkit to support leagues' efforts to be a diverse and inclusive. In the fall, AJLI launched the 100% campaign. This weekend at the Organizational Development Institute, there are delegates in our new diversity and inclusion track. Thank you to those of you who have made the diversity and inclusion a priority for a long time. And thank you to those of you who are joining the journey now. Being diverse, equitable, and inclusive is something that is never done. It's a continuous goal that we should all equally share. This past year, I was involved in conversations with some leagues where members have felt very marginalized and where leadership has lacked cultural competence. This is a tough thing for me to say, standing here in front of you. But I say it because we are committed to welcoming all women who value our mission, and each of us must be accountable to live up to that promise. Another goal has been to address our image. To do so, we must act with a plan. We're tired, more than tired, of being sidelined as those social women in white gloves and pearls, those women who are exclusionary, those women who only get together to socialize. We have a plan to ensure that the world knows about your good work. The Unstoppable Public Service Announcement campaign is one step in a much larger effort. The campaign, which you'll hear more about, is dynamic and it is relevant. And I am so grateful to the Junior League members who generously shared as the spokespeople in the TV spots. We plan to show our relevance in other ways as well. At annual conference last year, you passed an advisory resolution asking the board to explore whether there were issues that the association could collectively address. As a result, the Seat at the Table task force was formed. At the governance dialogue tomorrow morning, you will hear about the progress that the task force has made. Planning pivots on and is guided by defined values. Throughout this year and last year, the AJLI board held conversations with you about association values. After many conversation and much appreciated input, we are ready to approve these values. This could not be more timelier as we move into developing our next strategic framework, our guiding plan for the next 3 years. Each of these efforts was undertaken with intentionality, because at the end of the day, for me, it's all about strengthening and growing the Junior League movement, not just for growth itself, but because the world needs more exceptional community and civic leaders who create community change, and that's who we are. Yet despite the needs, despite the wonderful things that are happening, our movement is not growing. Overall, membership is declining 1% to 2% annually. It's not much each year, but over time, it becomes meaningful. And so during this conference, we are going to talk about what each of us can do, leagues, board, and staff, to reverse that trend, to ensure that the Junior League is relevant and significant for another century and beyond. I believe that we are unstoppable. And I also believe that the only thing that can stop us is ourselves. Let me say that again. We are the only thing that can stop us. And that could happen if we keep doing things the same way and think we're going to somehow go in a different direction and get different results. The truth is, small projects fulfill small needs. We need to aim for shared solutions which yield higher levels of impact and to lead the way in doing so. We have the skills, the experience. We have the relationships to do so. We have the commitment to act purposefully and clear goals and plans to do so. So let's be that unstoppable force that creates more opportunities for more women. Let's be that unstoppable force that defines the Junior League experience as dynamic, diverse, and inclusive. Let's be that unstoppable force that brings to the table substantive, creative solutions to address systemic community challenge so that we can move society forward. How many of those around us don't think change is possible? How many others see only problems and no opportunities? They stop listening, they give up, they sit down, they stop. But not us, not the Junior League. We live on purpose. We have it within us as individuals and as an organization to be unstoppable force that will change tomorrow. Before I adjourn this session, I have a few announcements. The Junior Leagues wishing to propose a topic for discussion for the association dialogue tomorrow at 8:30 to 8:45 must do so by submitting their item in writing to the governance office, which is in the Cockrell room on the mezzanine level no later than 6:30 p.m. this evening. This afternoon, the governance office is open between 3 and 3:15, 4:30 and 4:45, and from 6 to 6:30. The governance office will close at 6:30 tonight. The hours are posted at registration and also on the door of the governance office. Junior Leagues interested in proposing an advisory resolution for consideration at the annual meeting on Saturday, April 21st, must do so by 5:30 p.m. Friday, April 20th. Again, you must submit these in the governance office. Once more, the governance office is on the Cockrell room on the mezzanine level. I would change that name. During the annual meeting, we will be voting on the proposed association values. If you wish to propose an amendment to the association values, which you received in the call to conference, those amendments must be due by 5:30 Friday, April 20th. I think they're afraid I didn't know that that's tomorrow. Junior Leagues wishing to add or delete their name as a supporter of an advisory resolution may do so again in the governance office. The deadline for adding or subtracting names is also 5:30 Friday, April 20th. Again, the governance office for tomorrow are at the registration desk and the governance office door. Members of the Rules Committee who are Association President-elect Laura Lee Alexandra, Association Secretary Elizabeth Tomensky, Association Vice President Shuba Lembach, and Board Member Laura Creekmore, up there, are available to assist you in any matter coming before either the association governance dialogue and or annual meeting. Additionally, the association parliamentarian Ann Giberson and AJLI CEO Susan Danish and Ann Dalton, wherever you are, and the Chief Officer for Strategic Initiatives can all help you if you have questions about any of that process. If you are a voting delegate, please come to the ballroom 15 minutes before the start of the session to receive and test your electronic voting equipment, which means you need to be in the Peabody Grand Ballroom tomorrow at 8:15 a.m., that is. The first session of the 96th annual meeting of the association is adjourned. The second session will convene at 10:15, Saturday, April 21st, in this ballroom. Please enjoy the afternoon's workshops, and we'll see you back in here at 4:45 p.m. for our inspiring conference keynote speaker, Amy Mullins. Adjourned.
Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. We are the Junior League. We believe in the power of women acting as agents of social change. Our movement is strong,
meaningful, and we have no plans of slowing down.
Our Junior League volunteers
tackle some of the most critical issues: domestic violence, hunger, health services,
Education,
human trafficking,
just to name a few. We empower women to be more effective.
and she becomes unstoppable.
We are the Junior League.
Permítenos volver a presentarnos.
Somos la Junior League.
Creemos en el poder de las mujeres
Como agentes de cambio social,
Nuestro movimiento es fuerte
Y no pensamos detenernos.
Las voluntarias de la Junior League luchan con algunos de los problemas más arraigados.
violencia doméstica,
el hambre, la salud,
La educación.
facultamos a las mujeres.
con el poder de ser más efectivas y se vuelve imparable.
Somos la Junior League.